That's right. Big Sis doesn't know us yet. Well, I guess we should start with introductions. Okies, Monica is a mage. And when I attended elementary school, I was called the Little Ultimate Homeroom. It would be nice if you could be a wonderful person for Monica, too. Thank you, everyone. You're so nice. Oh, you didn't hear our address? A paradise made of children, by children, for children. It doesn't have to make any sense! That's all! I'm sure you're familiar with it, right? Homeroom? Also, Kamaru Naegi, in your current situation, you don't have the right to say a thing. You cannot choose your path because this place you're in, it isn't a path at all. You are not on a path. You are falling into an abyss. A darkness gaping open beneath your feet. You are just going to fall and fall. Can't you feel the pull of gravity? Monica just loves homeroom. The first hour of the day when we can share our thoughts. No, it would be pointless. Our precious Masaru. He's returned to the earth now. It's gonna be useless! Masaru is dead! A prince who became a star! What is essential is invisible to the eye! But it stopped short! Never to go again! When the old man died, you know! And that is why, even in the Warriors of Hope, I'm the life of the party! Yay! Nagisa likes Monica! Jeez, don't be so mean to Nagisa. Nagisa, Kotoko, we are all allies here. We need to learn to get along. So let's all get along, okay? Let's have fun hunting together, okay? That's our vice leader. Oh, wait. You're the leader now. Yeah, I mean, that hero guy. What was his name? But you are familiar with the Warriors of Hope. It sounds like you're saying Monica is wrong. Like I said! You're trying to say Monica is wrong! You're questioning Monica! You don't have to worry about things like that. Monica is called Monica. Monica's a mage in the Warriors of Hope. Hey, what do you mean, jealous? I don't get it at all. And hey, more importantly, you mentioned there was work to be done. Did something happen? Amazing! Amazing! I don't really get it, but it sounds super amazing! Well done, Nagisa. What's wrong? I was known as Little Ultimate Homeroom while I was in elementary school. Now, let's hear about this plan of yours, Nagisa. How are we gonna annihilate the resistance? Yep, right! As expected of our new leader, you sure have a good plan, Meow. But instead of right to kill them, isn't it more like duty? We promised Big Sis Junko that the Warriors of Hope will annihilate the demons. Even though our team is missing a few members, we're really getting pumped up, right? You guys think so too, yeah? You might think there are no ultimates and commons in a class like Homeroom, but there are. I asked him to bring Miss Kamaru Naegi all the way back here. Sorry, it's the truth. Oh, that's too bad. No matter how smart you might be, you still don't understand it, But I guess that's to be expected. I never gave you a proper explanation. Sorry. Monica doesn't care about paradise or anything like that. Oh, I guess you can say that the paradise I want and the one you want are different things. For me, my skill isn't really about uniting people. It's about getting them all to help me. You love me so much. Sometimes you even have perverted thoughts about me, right? You're glad you got to kiss Monica, right? If you work hard, I can do other things too, you know. So you'll listen to Monica's little request, right? You have such a hard time. Everyone has high expectations of you because you're so smart. And you even have high expectations for yourself. And you're always suffering from that, right? Believe it or not, I bring together a lot of wonderful people. If you want Monica to have high expectations of you, you gotta listen to Monica's requests, okay? For Monica's sake. Kill all the adults. Risk your life for Monica. Isn't that nice? Nagisa. I'm sure Nagisa has been crushed by the hope of the adults by now. If Monica wants it, it happens! That's how it is! Yes, so exciting! Let's do it! Come on, hurry up and let's do it! You're only surprised because you aren't used to this way of doing things. This is just what we like. We do it because it's fun. And that truly is the only reason. Thank you, Nagisa. Even though you're so busy, you did all this work for the sake of my game. I'll have to bake you some delicious cookies later as thanks. Of course an adult sees this as abnormal. But who cares what adults say? And just like that, the pieces are in place. All that's left now is to wait for the despair. I'm looking forward to it. I feel so bad for Masaru. This is just too cruel. What are we to do without our leader? Oh, Masaru! Even though he was so strong, so full of life, now he's just a chunk of meat. But unknown. That means he's dead, right? Think back to those talk shows I used to be on when times were peaceful. Hearing status unknown or unconscious. You knew they're probably gonna die anyway. That's what I always thought anyway. Well then, now that we all feel the same way, let's say our prayers to Masaru. Rest in peace, our hero Masaru. You were a grand leader. You worked your hardest, like a real hero should, though you were a coward. Whew! I feel much better now after a good cry. Okay, now let's get back to the game, alright? The fun's not over yet! Nagisa, you don't want to play anymore? Do you hate Monica now because Monica's just so selfish? Then, do you like Monica? So you don't like me? You know, Nagisa, that attitude of yours? You're acting just a little bit like an adult. Then, do you like me? Well, anyway, our last leader died. So since you were vice leader, you're promoted. Yeah, that's right. I have high expectations of you, our new leader, Nagisa. Good. You're so reliable. I knew I could count on you. I have a little business to take care of. Bye-bye. Taro probably got himself killed. Cut, ground down, crushed and stretched, squashed into paste, burned and eaten. Poor little Taro. Even though I hated him. A funeral? Oh, that! I got bored of that. Doesn't really matter, we can't even fill the coffin anyway. Yep, I already know that. It's not something to apologize over. I know you're just a sweet, gentle little girl. Oh, oopsies! I totally forgot. Gentle is a bad word for Kotoko. Jeez, to make you end up like this. It's as I've always known. Demons are the worst. How can they be so blind? Blind to their foolishness, ugliness, noxiousness, bad smell, boringness, to their own damnation. Even blind to the fact that they scarred Kotoko like this. It's okay. Monica won't be gentle. Jeez, Kotoko, that's so gross. It's Nagisa. Aw, you're such a shy boy, Nagisa. Meow. Your plan. If it works, our paradise can finally be built. And when that happens, the warriors of hope will level up to saviors. As our new leader, I will continue to have high expectations of you, sir. Did you hear that? Our children's paradise of smiles is going to be ready soon. Hey, you're listening, right? Kurokuma? Oh, right. You can talk now. Never mind, just be quiet. I figured it would be a good idea to ask for advice every once in a while. But I guess not. We've already lost so many of our friends. Let's just keep him in silent mode, I didn't mean that at all. Jeez, you're hopeless. Fine. Just keep it down, okay? Alright, all done. Yay! Monica's very own special-made magic circle. Well, of course. Everything is going swimmingly. Spinny, spin, spin. The world is spinning, and Monica's at the center. Everything is all thanks to my wonderful allies, playing their part and doing their best. Don't be mad, Nagisa. The one who sent Mr. Servant on his task was me. Ahem. Like I said, I was the one who asked Mr. Servant to help me. I have no interest whatsoever in the paradise where kids can live peacefully. Sorry. But this is all for the sake of the successor to Junko and Oshima. Yes, the second generation of Big Sis Junko. That's what I'm after. My aim is different from Mr. Servant's. But we agreed to work together at the beginning, so don't get so jealous, Nagisa. It's fine, it's fine. You just have to keep doing your best for my sake, right? For Monika's sake. I totally stole Nagisa's first kiss! You love Monaca, right? You can't live without Monaca, right? But Monaca won't expect anything of you. From the very start, I never expected anything of you. That's why I kept the successor a secret. After all, you're just a weak little child that no one expects anything from. Maybe nobody ever expected anything of you in the first place. You probably just thought they did. Maybe it was all a misunderstanding. You hit a girl. How uncool. But Monaca loves how uncool and worthless you are, Nagisa. Monaca loves you most in the whole wide world. Just as Monaca expected. It's just like I thought. He met my expectations to the letter. Now then, I should get started on the final preparations. Now come on over here. Let's open the gates of hell with Monaca. You too, Mom and Dad. The climax is gonna start soon. Your child will be born again as the successor to Junko and Oshima. Alone? I see. Was this someone from Future Foundation? Hey! Look at that! Wow, the impact! Looks just like an action movie, meow. If this keeps up, all the children might end up getting killed. Sorry. I know you helped me out and everything, but this plan is a secret even to you. No! Zip your mouth! It's totally contradictory, right? You really are amusing, Mr. Servant. Despite the fact that you know you've fallen into despair, you still fight for hope. Could it be from Big Sis Junko's influence? Or were you always like this? Yep, that's right! I'm really looking forward to it. Just how will the world look through the eyes of the successor? Thank you, Kurokuma, for giving Monaca such a splendid plan. Thank you for the hard work, Mr. Servant. I'm sure we will not see each other ever again. Oh? Would you look at that? You're totally right. Don't tell me. You saw my secret room, didn't you? I see. So that's how you figured it out. You might have a stupid-looking face, but you sure are pretty smart. Because pitiful children are the most powerful, don't you think? Monica's home life was terrible. She didn't feel like she belonged there. But Monaca was more brilliant than her brother or her father. And they hated her for it. But then, I thought of a way I could counter their neglect and cruelty. All I had to do was become a pitiful figure. Then, I would have the whole world's sympathy. The wheelchair was inconvenient, of course. But thanks to the act, I acquired much. I even acquired the Warriors of Hope. And Papa and Big Brother were a little nicer to me, too. They thought they were the reason I ended up in a wheelchair, so they really pitied me. Maybe. But to survive in that horrible world, I had to be. When Monaca talks, everyone freezes. When Monaca smiles, everyone stops smiling. For Monaca, the outsider, the eyesore, to survive in that house, she did what she had to do. Oh, so you know that much too. Okay, now's not the time for that talk. Silent mode. My plan? Oh, you mean the children's paradise. Well, personally, I don't really care about that. Monaca has a much more important job to do. Yep, that's right. The successor is the most important thing to Monaca. And for that plan, I wanted you to come this far, Big Sis. After all, you are essential for the successor. Just what I'd expect from the little sister of the ultimate hope. You're so impressive, meow. Completely different than when I first met you. Now, you have the face of a savior. Key? Monaca doesn't have anything like that. Like I said, I don't have it. You want to strip search me to make sure? Monaca doesn't mind. But weren't you guys in a hurry? You want to break this controller, right? You want to stop Mr. Monokuma, right? Monica Towa, Chief Executive of Towa Group Robotics Branch. This is the magic that Monica invented. And as long as Monica has her magic, Monica can control the Monokumas and the Monokuma kids. Huh? You didn't know that? No, I don't think that's possible. After all, I have a trump card. A super big, awesome battle robot the Towa Group Robotics Branch created. That is Monica's masterpiece. It's so much better than the other Warriors of Hope robots. So, Mr. Kurokuma, I leave it to you. This is for the sake of... I forgot his name, that hero guy who got bullied by adults. This is for the sake of... I forget his name. The priest guy the adults all hated. This is for the sake of... What's her name? The fighter who fell victim to the male gaze. This is for the sake of... The sage guy. The one who got crushed by his heavy burdens. You sure try hard. Do you really want to save the adults that badly? Do you really want the burden of hope on your shoulders? Huh? Is Monica about to lose? No, that can't be. Huh? You're kidding me. Monica lost? No! No! Is Monica gonna be killed? I don't want to die. No, that's no good. If this controller is destroyed, Monica's plan will fail. And if that happens, Monica can no longer be the successor. Oh, fine. Concerning you? Concerning or disconcerting? Could it be that maybe you want to be Monica's ally at the last minute? So you're Yay! Kotoko, you came to save me! Huh? Kotoko's right. Don't break that controller. If you don't, I promise, I'll kill all of the adults and build paradise. Kotoko, why are you saying such mean things? We're friends. Oh, please. Please forgive me. Let's just forgive and forget. Live in the now. Let's kill adults together again. Miss Komaru Naeki, please listen to Monica's request too. Please. Make the right choice. If you don't choose right, you're gonna replay this moment over and over. So make the correct choice and end this properly. Huh? You're not gonna break it? That's weird. Why not? Didn't you want to stop those crazy kids? Didn't you want to be the heroine of this dirty, lame penal colony? Didn't you want to be everyone's hope? Just like your brother? Are you sure? If you don't break the controller now, this will just repeat over and over. Because this is a magic scene! A happy ending scene! With all the Monokumas and Monokuma kids gone for good! Right! Kotoko, give it up. Watch the controller get destroyed. Thank you, big sis. Thank you so much for not breaking Monica's special controller. It would be such a bummer if the end credits started rolling before all the cast was here. He'll be here soon. Probably running down the hallway right now. Please stop! If you destroy that controller, all of Monica's hard work will be wasted. I won't be able to create the successor. I won't be able to inflict despair on the world. Wow, amazing. A big chorus of destroy, destroy, destroy. Huh? Monica has no idea. Oh, everything? See? His hand's on the door. By then, Monica was already a chief executive at Towa Group's robotics branch. Oh, big brother, I'm sorry about that. Wasn't it painful to watch your little sister surpass you? And I'm also sorry to you, Kotoko. You didn't want to hear that little truth, did you? Big Sis Junko only cared about Monica. The other Warriors of Hope were just bonuses. Love? What are you talking about? There's no way someone would love you. Your own parents didn't even love you. See? Just like Monica said. Bullseye! We do have a sibling connection after all. If we stopped, Big Sis Junko would reveal the whole thing. She would make it known that Towa Group built all those murder machines. And if she did that, Towa Group's finished. Jeez, Papa, that's not it. It's more like a business opportunity. Anyways, Towa Group did the right thing and chose to coexist with the despair. And to the public, they looked like heroes, fighting against the incident. Big Brother came to save Monaca, right? Monaca tried her best to rebuild it by any means necessary, but Papa just said it's over and gave up, like all the fickle, wishy-washy adults do. Papa betrayed Big Sis. No matter what Monaca said, Papa just wouldn't listen anymore. All we gotta do is fulfill the hopeful dream Big Sis Junko gave us. We shouldn't give up. We can't abandon hope. We need to build a paradise and take revenge against the adults who betrayed us. They're being so mean. Everybody's bullying Monaca. If a war breaks out, the world topples back into despair, right? If you think so, why don't you just break that controller Ms. Komaru has? Break the controller and start a war. Oh, hey, don't call Monaca a liar. You told me to talk. So mean, Kotoko, making me out to be the bad guy. Monaca doesn't want the controller to be destroyed. Monica's getting picked on by the kids and the adults. Isn't that awful? The moment they see the headless bodies of children in the streets, it's over. They wouldn't even care about their hostage or Miss Toko's testimony. Don't you think? Child victims have quite an impact on people. It's just like I said from the beginning. Pitiful children are the most powerful. I mean, adults with no children wouldn't have a single bit of mercy, would they? Big Brother, save Monaca! It's because they've been waiting for you to destroy that controller for so long. Those people out there don't care whether or not the heads of the children are gonna explode. Rather, they sound pretty excited about it, don't you think? That's the sound of people who have completely transformed into demons. And this is all your fault, Big Sis. It's because you stirred up the adults. It's your hope that turned them into demons, you know? Big Brother? No. You're gonna break it, all right. Monaca knows. You're gonna destroy the controller, and then the children's heads are gonna explode. And that's when the war begins. And the successor, a new splendid symbol of despair, will be born. Kotoko, when did I ever say that Monaca wanted to be the successor? Monaca's not the one who's going to be the successor. Why? Why are you being so mean? Monaca's just a child. That's the difference between Big Brother and Miss Komaru. This isn't personal for her, but I knew that might be a problem. So Monaca made sure to make a special request to get Miss Komaru to want revenge. I needed help from her parents. Are you ready for this? Take a potty break? Get a list of insults ready for Monaca? Have you mentally prepared yourself to surrender to despair, unable to suppress the urge to kill? Then I'll show you! Please, stop, Big Brother. I'm scared. I knew from the beginning that you would fall into despair. It's not over yet. Nothing's finished yet. It's just delaying the inevitable. The children are still brainwashed. The adults still want revenge. In fact, they're even more angry now, having their hope killed like that. Fine, I'll talk. It all started when I was still attending the Hope's Peak Academy Elementary School. Monaca did a little prank to convince the Warriors of Hope to commit suicide. Oh, of course. Monaca didn't intend to end her own life at all. But you all took it so seriously. And around then, Monaca met Big Sis Junko with the most miraculous timing. The moment Monaca saw her, Monaca understood. Big Sis Junko is light itself that will shine down on Monaca's boring little world. It's a miracle! Thank you, God! At least, at the time I thought it was a miracle. But later I learned it was inevitable. She came into my life just to take advantage of me. I'm sorry, I got it! Stop, Big Brother! At first, Big Sis Junko was looking for a corporation that could mass-produce machines so that she could use them for the tragedy. That's why, to meet her expectations, Monaca started making all the Mr. Monokumas, concentrating all of the resources of Towa Group's robotics branch. I lied to Papa and Big Brother. I told them I was building robots that could be domestic helpers and emergency aid workers. And thanks to that, Monaca made Big Sis Junko so happy. She started using them for the incident. That's what helped the incident get bigger and bigger. It's a little too late to stop producing the Monokumas anyway, right? But behind the scenes, they were working for both sides. The reason that air purifier they developed was so effective was because they were part of the cause in the first place. That's why the incident didn't hit them as hard. Those idiot adults didn't know that. So they worshipped Towa Group like they were saviors. But you better not blame this all on me. By the end, even Papa was into it. He supported the incident for money and honor. He ended up being a patron of Big Sis Junko. But the good times had to end eventually. Just when things were gonna get much, much more fun, Big Sis Junko died. All thanks to your brother, Miss Komaru Naegi. Since then, Future Foundation gained power, and Big Sis's influence got weaker and weaker. Monaca is so grateful to the Warriors of Hope. Adults are dirty demons who killed Big Sis. You guys killed them off so well for me. I was so happy. It was just as I thought. Kids are so simple-minded. The truth is, Monaca didn't really care about things like revenge and paradise. Succeeding Big Sis's will was far more important. Monaca doesn't want Junko Anoshima's legacy to end. Big Sis used to say all the time that she wanted to paint the world with despair. If someone could do that, don't you think they would make the best successor ever? War. Causing war. Are you talking to Monaca? Nope, that's not quite it. 'Cause it won't just end with a war between Towa and Future Foundation. Future Foundation isn't the only one who'd see the adults as remnants of despair. The true remnants of despair that are spread all over the world. They'd learn about the war in Towa City, and they'd come charging in. Towa City would become the heart of a resurgence of the despair that Big Sis Junko left us. Worthy of the name of Junko Enoshima. Wouldn't you agree? I don't know. Because the city shares a past with the incident, they won't take any chances. Monaca may have helped things along, but Miss Komaru's transformation was her own doing. That delicate little girl maturing, growing to overcome the despair as hope itself. You even grew to care about this town, wanting to save it, becoming the hope for the adults. But even so, you know hope isn't always a good thing. At times, hope can be a terrible burden. It can be a drive to hurt others, just like now. What did you think would happen if you gave people who watched their loved ones die hope? Did you think they'd all be positive, working together nice and peacefully? Of course not! They will turn into demons. Demons who live for revenge. You see? Just listen to them. So that makes it all your fault, Miss Komaru Naegi. No, that wouldn't do. That would not be worthy of the successor, now would it? So anyways, what are you gonna do, How are you gonna end this? Are you gonna kill the children and play the savior? Or are you gonna spare the children's lives and let them keep slaughtering the adults? Who lives? Who dies? That is your choice. There's no way to save both. One side has to die, and you're going to kill them. Now it's about time you made your final choice. The final choice you can make as Komaru Naegi. Choose wisely. It's gonna be Miss Komaru Naegi. Paint the world with despair. That's what Big Sis Junko always used to say, you know? And what could be more despair-inducing than having Makoto Naegi's sister be the successor? So the one who's gonna murder all these kids has to be Miss Komaru herself. Oh, don't worry. It's not hard. All you have to do is destroy the controller. I've already prepared cameras so that the moment is recorded and sent to Future Foundation, with Monika's video message as a bonus set. Monaca already declared that Miss Komaru Naegi will succeed the legacy of Big Sis Junko. Big brother, you've just been saying that over and over. Adults don't like change. No need, no reason, no relation. She probably wrote the message on the floor with her dying breath. But when she collapsed, the blood stuck. That's how those letters ended up on her skirt. Did you notice? She wrote the names of her children before she died. You have such loving parents. I'm jealous. Family love. It sounds so nice. Something I've never felt my whole life. Oh, that's not a very convincing argument at all. You can't refute me like that. You hate me, don't you? You hate me, right? I played with the bodies of your family like toys. And now you want to kill me, right? This was all determined from the very start. The hope you felt was just for the sake of making you feel the worst kind of despair. So nothing's changed! This isn't a happy ending or a sad one. This isn't hope or despair! Nothing has changed. So are you gonna kill Monaca? Take a little revenge for yourself. It's just fine. If Monaca is killed by Makoto Naegi's sister, that should be enough to spare. Huh? At this point, I suppose I have to compromise. With no more hostage, future foundation will come, and the remnants of despair will follow. Maybe it's not going exactly to plan, but maybe a small-scale war will start. I'll compromise. Monaca has to be an adult sometimes, after all. But this really has nothing to do with you two, does it? This town, this planet, they don't matter to you two. You just want your happy ending. You're not even letting me have a small taste of despair! Monaca miscalculated. I overestimated you, though I guess Monaca was not the only one. You thought too highly of yourself as well. Monaca tried to imitate Big Sis Junko. You tried to imitate your brother, but in the end we both failed. Neither of us could live up to expectations. Don't mess with me. An ending without hope or despair, Monaca will definitely... Huh? Hey, Kotoko? Huh? Big brother, don't you want to take your revenge on Monaca? Don't you want to kill Monaca? You weren't satisfied with this, right? You weren't just gonna walk away. I don't want it to end like this either. Big Sis Junko would hate me if I let it end like this. So this is what despair feels like.